Justin Porter from Cleveland.
From Akron.
From Akron.
Yes.
Good for you for actually saying that, because a lot of people I feel like will say they're from Cleveland and then you find out they're from like Minner or Willoughby.
Specifically, I feel like if you're from Akron, LeBron said this like over 20 years ago. It was like if you were from Akron, you never liked Cleveland. It was like a competitive thing. Like,
interesting.
From sports and everything. Like, no, it was just, I went to school here, but like I'm from Akron, Ohio.
I love that.
I would correct anybody on that. Like
pride.
Yeah, no, I'm from Akron.
So you run a gym with your brother.
Yes.
That's
sweet. It's awesome.
Is it awesome?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I feel like a lot of people say either they really like working with family or like it's a struggle.
We fought like cats and dogs early.
Yeah.
And then
you like got it out of your system.
Yes. I don't know you know what the thing we did? We learned to adapt because with a sibling, everything that pushes their buttons. And then a part of growing up and trying to be objective is to not push that button. And to communicate in a way, like even my posture, like, so I'm the younger brother, right? So my posture of something I may do, you may not pick up on.
Yeah.
But if I do that to him, he picks up on. So he would be like, why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to do that, like, you get really good at communicating, in my opinion, because you're aware of your body language, you're aware from there. And I'm purposely not trying to trigger this person if we don't agree, if we see different sides and stuff like that. But so now, I mean, it's sweet. It's like it's a blessing in disguise to be able to. It's not even a blessing in disguise. It is a blessing to be able to work with my brother, because it's someone who knows exactly how you feel and what you're thinking, and it can fill in the gap of whatever. I can fill in his gap, or he can fill in my gap, or like whatever we don't do well, and like that's nice because I don't have to think about that.
How many years have you guys been doing this?
This is the 13th year. We're in the midst of the 13th year.
How does that feel?
I don't know. It's a weird.
It's kind of surreal.
Yeah, because like I feel like it went fast, but it's because we've been engaged the entire time.
Okay.
And like typically when things go fast, I feel like you're either having fun or you're doing like purposeful, meaningful work, or you're just engaged. So like for us, it feels like a big number, but it doesn't feel like, I know it is a big number as far as business, but it doesn't feel like the time that went that way. We like looked up and it's just like, well, how many years like when somebody asked how many years, like I guess like
having to do the math in your head.
Yeah, I was in my last year of grad school when we started, and it's like, and then I have like gray in my beard now. It's like I feel like
what
I
has
was a
happened?
kid. Yeah, I feel like I was a kid then, but
no,
it's been awesome.
This really huge accomplishment. There's a lot of people that set out to do this thing and can never get it off the ground.
Yeah. And so I think the benefit of having working with my brother is when things got hard, I think if it was just a partner, I think if it was like a solo mission, it would be acceptable to quit, but it's very difficult to quit on your brother. So if you have that like going back and forth, then you just don't. You figure it out.
What made you get into fitness?
Failing as a baseball player.
Okay.
Yeah. So I probably shouldn't have played. I probably should have just done other sports, but I really liked baseball. So that's why I went to Cleveland State, got there, and essentially my coach got fired. And then when new coaches come in, they want to bring in all their other guys. And so my brother's at Kent. My parents are in Akron. My dad works at the Cleveland Clinic, and my dad really liked the idea of me going to Cleveland because I'm right down the street from him.
Yeah.
And my dad told me something, and he was right. It was like nice to still have a parental kind of like pull the card. So it's like it was a discussion of whether or not I should go to Wright State because there was a spot open for me at Wright State to go play there. My dad goes, "Look, you don't need sports." He goes, "Your brother needs sports." He goes, "You don't need sports." He's like, "You're staying at Cleveland State," and it was the best decision. I couldn't have made that decision. I would have made the wrong decision. He made that, and then so the one thing that I'll also give credit to my brother on that is that because he's older than me, I got to watch him train and transform his body.
Okay.
When we were like he was in high school, so I was like in middle school. So I like that. That's addicting, especially to a young boy. of seeing like if I just do more push-ups, my arms get bigger, or if I just like I feel stronger and stuff like that. So you get the bug, and I had all that effort going into baseball, and then you took away baseball. I still have that bug. I got into. Well, I was always training, but I was working at the rec because I like being at the rec.
Yeah.
And then whoever my supervisor was, Stacy Giacovetti. She suggested for me to get a certification. My undergrad's health science pre-physical therapy, so I was in school. So I felt like I got to quickly input what I would learn. Like if I learned something at 1 p.m., I got to train at 6. I could just be like, I could use that principle.
Yeah.
Like immediately. So I would get the feedback. So for me, it was great.
That's awesome.
That was the main reason why.
I think that's something that makes me respect you more is that anytime that you're posting on Instagram and socials like, hey, if you're doing this, it's not going to work and this is why. But you have the sources to back up your stuff. Yeah. You're not just like, this is the new trend, so that's why you should use it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I definitely wanted you on the pod because I was like, there's a source here.
Yeah.
Like we're not just spewing out things.
A lot of things could be like opinion based, and it could be rooted in something. But I think my brother and I, for example, I'm tying back in.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to be objective, and I don't have a favorite anything. So say if like the standard trainer, I'll take myself at age 20. I'm gonna keep using triceps. I really like cable push downs. So I'm going to have Aria do cable push downs. And if Aria says her elbow hurts, it's important for you to not be tied to that. I'm not tied to that. I just want whatever. All I need you to have is an elbow extension. I can do that a lot of different ways using a lot of different tools. So like, I think that's what the thing that like being objective was has helped with success and being like, oh no, I don't have to. This doesn't have to only be one way. I think that's the big part there.
What would you say people are doing now after 30 that it's just like, that's not going to work?
I think trying to be as intensive, like to try to lead with intensity similar to whatever you last experienced, say if it was high school. We had someone start their first class this week, and it was on Monday. I specifically told her, like, hey, if 10 is the hardest you can work, never get above a 6 at any point in this class. I don't care what you do. Like, don't come above a 6. And like, that will leave you wanting more. If you go in with the mindset of being like, I'm not working above a 6, eventually you'll want to touch like, let's see if the oven is hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, if you like go in with the mindset of like, because it shouldn't be, you don't know where the cliff is, especially if you're like, coming back to fitness or you're starting fitness the first time. But in the moment, you can be like, all right, where are you rating it if you had like a bar? Like, where am I at? I'm about a 5 right now. Like, okay, you're at a 6. Like, should I push it? Like, nah, you don't gain anything extra. No one gets in shape in a day. But, and when you can do that regularly, the barrier of entry, I believe, drops. And it's easier for you to, say if you want to set up a schedule in which you're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's easier to come Wednesday if you know you're only going to work at a 6, and it's easier to come Friday. You know, you don't have to get over this mental all right, I'm coming in and today I'm motivated. I'll tell you right now, as a lifelong fitness person, how often am I motivated? Almost never. Almost never am I motivated. I've like switched into, or I understand dedication. I'll say this to like, even for like Ryan, I'll be like, I'm unemotional about it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to wait for. I brush my teeth every morning. I've never needed motivation to brush my teeth. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a hygiene for me. It's like, okay, I'm doing the thing now.
Yeah.
And then in the midst of it, you know, you will catch the bug of being like, okay, I want to push myself. But for someone starting, I think it's too hard to actually exercise and to actually exercise like intense. Don't try it. Just get into the thing that's like, okay, I'm doing the thing. The barrier of entry is low. I can traverse that easily. Like over 30, you got too much stuff going on. No, you shouldn't have to be like motivated. Like that's tough. And I'm over 30 and I consider myself like driven, and I'm not going to be motivated for every workout. I'm just going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's my issue. I think you literally like nailed it. First question, I'm like, I'm healed. I want to feel excited to go to the gym every morning I wake up. Like, I want to be like, I get to wake up and go to the gym.
I don't know who that is.
I feel like that's, but like in my head, I feel like that's how it has to be, because in school, when I used to get so excited to go to practice.
I did too.
I was so excited to go to practice. It was game day. I'm so excited for game day to show people like what I've been working on. I don't feel that way. I wake up in the morning and I'm exhausted already thinking about the long list of things that I have to get done in the day. And then I'm like, and they want me to, and I got to go work out.
You'll give 110%.
And give 1,000.
No.
Yeah. I'm like sore walking around looking like crazy person. You know? So I think you just gave a lot of people freedom to show up, as they say at church, come as you are. Let me talk about these trends really quick. I feel like Pilates is really big right now. I feel like there's all these like dieting trends right now. GLP-1 is huge right now. I mean, is there anything out there that you're like, this is actually working, it's worth people's time?
Okay. So
he's like,
oh. Well, GLP-1s, it's the greatest appetite suppressant in human history. That does not mean that like you shouldn't exercise anymore. Obviously, if you stop either taking the pill or getting the shot, that appetite's coming right back. It suppresses the ghrelin hormone. If you stop suppressing it, it comes back.
Yeah.
So is it working? It's working really well. For some celebrities too well. But but that it's, and I think even, I think that doctors even say like you have to, because if you lose too much weight too quick, it's also going to be taken out of muscles, and then as you get older, that's going to be bone density. So that's going to be, you're swapping problems. That's all you're going to really doing there for momentarily looking or fitting in clothes you want to look into. Pilates, like resurgence, is like, I don't know what that, being honest, I don't know what that resurgence was, because I like saw it before. Okay. And then it went away, and then it came back, and I think it's like, you know where I think it came from? I think it is a great social media aesthetic.
Huh.
I think it films well.
You think people are doing it for the plot? Like, I get to wear this cute little outfit.
Yes, 100%.
And I look like I'm really going through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think if you were to say, why did Pilates come back into fashion? I think because like it films well. I think that's what it is. You have the transformer. Like you said, you can put the Lululemon on. You can do an obscure movement that you'll never do in real life. And then you'll feel it in a muscle that like, you'll be like, I really felt it in whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my inner thought is whatever. But like, I think all movement is good. It's better to do something than nothing.
Yeah.
But do I think that that's like, this is, and then I got into the best shape of my life. You weren't in good shape before. That's how I would feel. Like if you got in your best shape in your life doing Pilates, you weren't in good shape before. That's the easiest way I would put it. I
feel like you just came for Pilates really hard.
Yeah, I saw it before. Like my mom had a transformer. My mom did that stuff when we were like little kids. And and it just looped back around. But like you can deck out a studio, you can get the right lights, you can get, like I said, it's a good aesthetic for social media. It crushes on social media, but like. I don't know if it like is life-changing fitness. That's a way to put it.
Period.
I don't think it's that. Take CrossFit, for example. CrossFit's motto, the mistake early on, and they revise it. And I think, generally speaking, in most CrossFit gyms now, moonlight is necessarily a wrong word, but they have transitioned to look more like a strength and conditioning. The appeal to CrossFit, let's say 10 years ago, was, I'm going to do this really hard thing every time because I'm a type A person. I'm just going to attack it, blah, blah. And I can, because I'm in a 30-year-old body, you could do that for a little bit. You can't sustain that.
Right.
And then after a while, you're spending more time at a chiropractor or masseuse than you are going to the gym. So the orthopedic thing. So it's like to not feel like you have to go super intense first. And say if it's an Orange Theory, because it's predominantly cardio, could be a lot of running. You don't know how your Achilles may respond for it. So in the moment, and I'm saying is if you're starting out, say in the moment you're like, okay, I can run at 7 miles an hour. It doesn't necessarily mean you should run at 7 miles per hour because the amount of force you put into the treadmill, your Achilles may not be ready for it right away. And then if you start to get any kind of tendinopathy, that can then lead to you not coming very often. And then the goal of getting in shape starts to get derailed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like to give it a few weeks or even up to a month, because if you're really engaged in wanting to have longevity in a fitness lifestyle, like it's the consistency over time. So what's the race? Where's the race to? Where are you headed to?
Yeah.
Like now when we were in high school, it was like, it's my senior year. So I gotta,
amp it up.
You're in college, you only get so many years. So it's like, it has to be intense. Even if you're in professional sports, you only get so many years you get to do that. So I get that.
Yeah.
But if after that, it's like, I am much more impressed by people that are older that have say if you're 60, you got the ability of somebody in their late 30s. That's way more impressive than somebody in their 30s who has the abilities of somebody in their 20s. Like that's not. But when you see like we have a couple 60-year-olds and we have a 70-year-old, it's like the 60-year-old asked the 70-year-old, wait, how old are you? Like that's way more impressive of being like, she moves like she's like 50, and that's what you want. Because after a while, like okay, once. No one gives out trophies anymore. What are you doing it for? Like, well, I want to have my like utility the rest of my life. Like, yeah, okay, go that way then.
I feel like something that has always been consistent, yoga, always been consistent, always a good thing.
I would say that's been consistent as well. Like the only thing I would like take warning to with yoga, because a lot of unloaded twists is what I mean. Like your obliques may not be engaged while twisting. So say if you're doing like a scorpion or something like that, when you lay on your back, throw your leg over something.
Yeah.
If you have back problems, most times if they have back problems, they're like, well, I just need to stretch. So say if your spine is unstable, the lumbar spine, if your lumbar spine is unstable, twisting is not going to make it better. It's going to make it worse. So actually there's a high incidence of low back issue with people with yoga, and for the reason I just explained, because it's like, especially if you have translation, these are vertebrae. If it like translates and stuff like that, why would be trying to stretch that's not, you want stability.
Yeah.
A la the side plank and the bird dog gives you stability.
It's almost like if you haven't been doing fitness in a while, before you start, it almost seems like it might be a good idea. I don't know if it's going to the doctor to get checked out, if there's like some type of like,
there's an assessment.
Assessment. It needs to be done.
Yeah, because and I think that I understand the logic behind my back is tight, I'll do yoga because stretching is good, because our last coach that we ever had said stretching is good. And this isn't a knock on yoga. I think yoga is good, and we offer yoga from one of my favorite fitness instructors, Angie. I went to college with her, but she has the perspective that my brother and I have. So it's like, it is more of like, more movement based, opposed to just like, there's power yoga, there's hot yoga, there's all this. There's yoga that's trying to replace other stuff. Like you want to sweat and do yoga, like, all right, cool. At our gym is like, nah, I just want some restorative movement. That's all we really want. But so I think yoga in large is good. I would just like have like an asterisk, like, hey, if you got issue with like this and this, that may not be what you think is. Most times people just need guided instruction. And with the whatever your small thing is, and this is what yoga is good at as well, like it's accountability, and the accountability coming from just having like a small community around there. So it's like, I'm going today because Aria's going. Like, because we're going to talk about, Bridgerton. I know that's a popular show right now. But we're going to talk about that. So like your attendance for fitness will probably be higher if it's a smaller. So I know there's like Orange Theories that are like, local pop-up Orange Theories and stuff like that. Your attendance may be higher towards fitness, so that's a positive. So it's not like just like downing everything. I think that element is the best thing that you can do for yourself if you have commitment issues of staying with it. But if you're showing up, going headphones in at like Lifetime Fitness, and you're wondering why it's not sticking, is like probably because you're not that kind of person. You probably need to be more social. You probably need someone to, and the lock on that like key is probably like you're gonna be around like-minded people because they're there for this. So you're gonna find something that's similar, and then you guys kind of get locked in. And it's just so you're gonna have a higher attendance.
I feel like keep having these come to Jesus moments for me, because I consider myself an introvert. I do a very extroverted job, but I go home and I like sit in the dark. There are so many times I've texted Ryan and been like, I just want to sit in the dark today and not talk to nobody because
I love
I'm
being
so
by myself.
like I gave so much today and I'm over it. But I've been having the same thought. So right now my routine is going to the gym at my apartment. I put my headphones on. I listen to Cardi B and I do my little workout on my app.
Yeah.
But I'm not consistent with it. And I think it is because there is no like, I think I do need that community aspect of someone being like, hey girl, you didn't come up today. Like, what's up?
Or I got to tell such and such what happened at work. I know that's a big thing. Or like for the guys, it would be like anything happening in sports or podcasts. And the only reason why I know Bridgerton's a big, so it'll be like a 4 p.m. class that we'll have. And it'll be like 6 or 7 of the girls talking about a show that I don't watch. But they're there for that.
Yeah.
Like walk in the door, the first thing they say, did you watch last night's episode? And they're like,
yeah,
it's a third place, right? It becomes a third place for them. So it's like the fitness is a good thing you're getting. I'm making sure that, that you're doing injury safe or injury free exercise and stuff like that, but you get that. So your attendance comes up because you, more likely than not, because you guys are interested in, bettering yourself, you're like-minded. So there's probably things that some of the girls read a bunch of books, some girls are the TV girls, some girls are the book girls, some girls got crossover, you know what I'm saying? So it's like stuff like that. That's like, I think that's what helps. So anybody who falls, and I'm sure that's what Pilates crushes, anything that falls into the smaller venue gyms, I think that's good because if you are objectively looking to improve your body, you have a better chance doing it that way, in my opinion.
Tell me what your definition of third place is.
What is it? Not home, not at work. So what I would consider a third place is somewhere that, like, from my view as a gym owner for years, I see, and it's rewarding, I see people that's coming after work. It acts as a buffer before they go home or a buffer, whatever happened at work. And like, I like that. I like that you see them be like I said, somebody had a terrible day and you can see that they may be reserved early on, and then they'll like, okay, we're talking about the topic that I want to talk about. And I can see it in the morning group of those people like to start their day and they're like trying to attack their day. So I think that acts as this like, okay, let me stop by here and then this will be, and that's what my brother and I pride ourselves in providing that environment. I think other gyms obviously have that same thing as well, but I think that's what the third place is. It kind of creates a buffer for whatever. I imagine sometimes that people don't want to run home to their kids. Like, I'm not, like, I get it. I completely get it.
Yeah.
Like, I got, or, you may be mad at your significant other and like, let me stop here. Like, and then that's how bars and stuff like that could be a third place. And I say that gyms are probably one of the most acceptable third places because I don't think you want like your significant other being like, he stops at the bar every night before he comes on, like, because then you're like, this is crazy. Like,
no,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's an acceptable place to kind of like, all right, let me talk about stuff I want to do, or let me kind of repress whatever feelings I had of the day, or let me even out before I get home, because you want to, generally when you get home, you want to, if you have somebody to go home to, you want to give that person the best version of yourself. And you're like, coming off of work or whatever, it may not be the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I have this place that I can stop by or whatever. Yeah. That's what I think of it as.
I think it's also a good place to just like build community, build friendship.
For sure. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about injury reduction.
Okay.
Because I feel like as I get older, that's something that I'm starting to think about. Everybody's hearing the bones cracking.
Oh, yeah.
We're being like, oh, I can't, like, I'm not as flexible as I used to be. And all of that leads into potentially bad things happening.
So the injury reduction portion, I think from our perspective, we weave that into the warm-up and throughout the workout. We just call them like, they may feel like difficult exercises, but typically they are correctives. It could be a dead bug. It could be the positioning of a bird. It could be those sorts of things, side planks, whatever.
Side planks are injury reduction?
Yes. Yes. So like,
tell me more.
say if you sit for a long time, right?
Yeah.
This is compression because my vertebrae stack over my disc after a while. Sit for a long time. Even if say if you got out of bed, normally you stiff in the morning, stuff like that, because your disc fluid sink. So when that makes your disc become misshapen.
Okay.
So like that's why you kind of feel like you need to do like that. That's like that natural urge to do that.
I literally feel that right now.
And for people that have to sit hours on end, like the desk job, people typically have like the back problems. So it's just because they're have compressed disc, just because the vertebrae stacks, and that's like so. Doing certain stretches or any kind of decompression you want to do naturally, that's because your discs are compressed. So side planks turn into this thing that you have like your lateral sling, your oblique wall. So from moving, as you strengthen the muscles, the spines right here, if you strengthen the muscles over there, like as this muscle gets more and more firm, these discs that's in the middle they'll have less room to like bulge out.
Okay.
So anytime you hear a bulging disc, the disc comes out, touches the nerve, that's when you feel like, oh, okay, you may have stiffness in your back comes from that sort of thing. So like Dr. Stuart McGill, he has like his big three. His big three would be like a modified curl up, and basically a normal person would think of it as a crunch, but their hand under the small of their back, and they'll perform crunches there, basically pushing your low back into your hand. The side plank is a big thing, and then like walking is a big thing because that's decompression, because when you walk, you kind of like swivel, and then that allows your disc to kind of get out of that position. That's why walking is good for digestion and all this other stuff.
For sure.
But the bird dog, modified curl up, and the side plank are the main things for, I consider that, or the phrase I'll use for people at the gym is like, that should just be hygiene. If you have like, if you have to sit a lot, I don't have to sit a lot of works, but I can relate to that, having like past back problems and stuff like that. Like just fit it in. And I've given that information to a lot of people, and then they've seen benefit from that and understanding, okay, the inevitable. You're going to have to sit at or maybe your job makes it so that you have to sit at the desk for 5, 7, 8, 10 hours or something like that. When that does happen, these are your this is a protocol for you to have to get yourself out of the position. It may take 1 week. It may take 2 weeks. These are how you should walk, how often you should walk, and then you can kind of, so like we've been over that so many times. That's like, it's like a text that I send from there. It's just like, my back's just been bothered, it's been tight. Like, here, do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's because like it's the problem solving aspect of it, and that's common because again we're adults. You have to do a job.
Yeah.
Like that can't go anywhere.
You can't be like, oh, sorry, I've been sitting too long.
Yeah,
I gotta head
I'm sorry,
out.
I'm gonna go home because no, you can't do that. So you have to do a job. So from my mindset of my trainer mindset is like expect them to. So our warm up, I wouldn't even say it's extensive, but it's thorough because, and I think about someone who's been sleeping in bed. Somebody may have slept, like say if it's the first class in the morning, somebody may have slept for 8 hours, somebody may have slept for 4. They decide to come still. So it's like you have to keep that in mind because, again, in order for me to be a good steward, it is to, like, you're trying to provide a service. And it's not like I'm going to give you a tough workout. Anybody can give somebody a tough workout. Do anything hard enough, it's tough.
Yeah.
But if you can continue to have people, like, stay on board for a long period of time and to see, you can see progress for a while. But also the other thing, like one of the guys I'm going to train tomorrow, I always have to remind him that because he's like a type A personality. Like sustaining and then like slowing the rate of decline is also really important. You don't want 40 or 45 or 50 to hit and you're like, pff. But like if you're like 50, and say if we're doing an arbitrary weight, whatever it is, pick a lift, we're doing a weight, and right now at 45 you're doing 200. Like, what if by 50 you only reduce down to like 195? And he'd be like, oh, it changes his mindset of being like, oh yeah, actually that's, because then it becomes impressive of you being so like it's not always be like, well, because he asked that question before of being like, well, I don't know how much higher I'm going to be able to get. Like I don't. You think I think you're LeBron? I'm like, no, I don't think you're great anyway. You're not going to get much higher. But how long could you hold this becomes a different thing.
Right.
Like, now that becomes impressive. You see like. Anybody at social media has seen someone do something really impressive. Like that to me is really impressive.
Yeah.
I'm not only training geriatrics. We also train like students and stuff like that. That just
no, for sure, for sure. But, which brings me to my point of like, how early on should you be thinking injury reduction? Are you having that conversation with your student athletes, or are you having that conversation like once my people hit 25, then we're starting to have that conversation?
I think that's a good question. I would actually probably land on like 25 because.
Oh, wow. Look
at me. Look at that. Intuitive. Because from everything I've explained up until this point, my field has like oversaturated that.
Okay.
So I can say how, like, I'm going to use the word annoying when you have, like, a 14-year-old being like, I feel like I need to take a rest day. Like, brother, you're going to, in 10 years, you're going to wish you have the amount of testosterone you have right now. Like, you don't have any bills. You sleep all day. This is the most amount of recovery you're going to get. And so, like, and I understand that was backlash from, like, the old school hard coaches doing bad stuff. So it's like pendulum swung too far the other way. But from us, we're still strategic. We're never careless, but like push the kids. But once you get to like 25, once you have to do a job.
The title of this episode is going to be Why You'll Never Meet Your Fitness Goals.
Okay.
And I say that only because I feel like once you start doing something, the goal always changes.
Yes.
I came to the gym so I could get healthy and get consistent. Then I kept going. So now I am consistent.
You need that,
My goal has changed now. Right. What is a good goal for people to start out with?
Consistent attendance, because you can navigate a goal. So say whatever, perfect. Say if you just start the gym and you want to be a 5-time-a-week person, all right? Get there 2 times a week. Do 2 times a week for 3 months, which is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Make it 2 months, whatever. And then the next 2 months, I'm stepping up to 3. And the next 2 months, step it up to 4. And next 2 months, step it up to 5. You know what I'm saying? And then you reset a goal. Like, that's the simplest way to go. But, like, I think the first thing is consistency. And the same thing goes from, like, say if you want to run a half marathon, it's just, like, start off with running twice a week. It can run for 10 minutes twice a week. But, like, after a while, the consistency of it, okay, if you run for 10 minutes 4 times a week, you can probably run. If you run for 10 minutes 4 times a week, you can run for a half hour. And then you're like that much closer from running a half marathon. You know what I'm saying? So you can stack it from there. But I would say, if I were to pick a goal, I would say consistency. Same thing can go with strength. Same thing can go with like an aesthetic look, like all that. Yeah. You'd start with consistency. Pick however low you want to be, and there's no wrong amount of low. And the first notch up, there's no wrong amount of first notch up. It can be, I want to start going to the gym. You hit it 1 time a week, and if you hit it 1 time a week for a month, you only came 4 times. All right, next month, take it up to 2, whatever. Like, again, you're not. I don't think you're getting a trophy. You're not getting a trophy here at my gym. You're not getting a trophy.
The millennials are like, we don't need trophies. You ain't do nothing.
You get a pat on the back maybe, but you're like, oh, you get a nice. Like,
you get one day to be able to like pick up your kid and not almost drop them because you haven't lifted like, anything.
Wow. Or the other thing, I sometimes frame it differently of being like, don't you want to play with your kid? Like, okay, so the guys, so I will get on the guys with this of being like, oh, I'm old. Don't you want to play with your kid? Like, you want your kid to be like have more physical prowess than you at 10? Yeah. And like, oh, it reframes it for him. Like, oh man, I gotta hang on to you. How long do you want to have like a 15-year-old puffing his chest out of you? Because that's crazy too. And it's like, dude, I got like another. Yeah, you do. I guess you should get to going. You know what I'm saying? You got like another 16, 17. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got years on that. Because that's a little like, I don't know if that's toxic, or whatever. But I'm like, I'm not having no 16-year-old. If it's your kid, that's crazy. No, I'm not.
That is crazy. That's some crazy work. Cleveland hot takes.
Like about the city?
Yeah. I'm putting you on blast. I'm going to guide you, though. Favorite place to eat in the city?
Oh, man. This is tough. All right. Man, you got me with that one. So the reason why it's difficult, because I've been trying to get better at cooking. So like I've purposely abstained from.
That's so fair. Okay, so maybe we reframe it as in like it's a special occasion. It's a birthday, something really great happened, you want to celebrate. this is my place. I know the food's going to be good. The staff's going to be good. I'm not going to be disappointed.
Oh, man. I'm just navigating from like west side to downtown to like east side.
There's a lot of options out there.
There is. And that's what's kind of like.
Which is great. Yeah.
I'm simple.
Okay.
So I will just say, like for pizza, I would say Edison's.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going Edison's. Okay.
Yeah. For pizza, I would say Edison's and just keep it like, because I like, yeah, because I'm thinking even like steak or red or anything like that. I was just like, no, I like, what would I like? If it was like you said, when you said birthday, that's what helped me. Being like, what do you want? Like, I have some pizza.
I'm going Edison's.
Yeah, let's go to Edison's for it. But there's so much, because I just thought about, I know my family for a while, we liked Barocco, the Cuban spot. It was in Lakewood.
Yeah.
I like sushi, but I can never remember the names. Sushi's like top for me. But
really?
I just can't
but you can't remember where you go?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I just kind of like I'll
your sushi
pop
place
on, like,
is so
Yelp
mad at you right
at
now.
The most whatever.
Oh, so you just like kind of dip around.
Yeah. My brother's better at like if I want some kind of like soul food or something like that.
Yeah.
Black Box Fix. I think.
Oh
that's
yeah,
the
Black
name.
Box Fix is good.
But if I'm thinking like, if it was a special occasion like sushi.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever sushi place, because I like all sushi. I'll probably eat gas station sushi. It doesn't care.
Oh,
like,
God.
Yeah, I'd probably eat gas station sushi. Like, yeah.
That's so crazy.
As long as it's like a bunch of Philadelphia rolls, I'm like,
yeah,
great.
That's fair.
I eat a lot of sushi.
But that's probably healthy.
I don't know. Whatever.
It makes me happy.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. It could be. I mean, I like it. It's fish, and that's omega-3, so that's healthy.
Bam.
There you go.
I love that. I love how we like just twisted that.
Yeah,
like this is how this makes us healthy. Tell me, when people come to visit, you are like, you have to do this, Northeast Ohio.
Oh, what time of year is it? Yeah. 18 years here now.
I've been doing this. I've asked several people this, and no one's asked me to be that specific yet.
Okay.
Let's do winter.
Ooh.
Because that's a little bit harder.
I like downtown. I like the lights. That public square, I think, really encapsulates, like, I guess, a northern Christmas. Because, if you go out west or if you go in the south and stuff like that, you're not getting, like, especially, like, when you get snowfall and they got the ice rink out, they could put the lights up. I like that. Hit one of the Christmas bars.
Yeah.
One of the pop-up Christmas bars. Actually, what's that? Around the corner has a really nice one. I like that they do, wrapping paper on the ceiling?
Yeah.
But there's more popular Christmas bars that's popped up there. I know the one in the Flats that I can't remember the name of it, but the one in the Flats is a big one. But I would, if it's winter, we can do Christmas really well here.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's something that it can look like a movie. And then, yeah, you can go see this Christmas Story house, but it's just a house with a leg in it. I don't think it's that awesome. It's a house with a leg lamp.
It's a house with a leg in it,
That's crazy. But like, if you want to be like, the movie Serendipity with John Cusack? No. It's like a Christmas movie.
Okay.
So it's like, if you want that like
feel.
Yeah, you want that feel, we can crush that.
Oh,
like,
I love
come
that.
between December, especially if it's like December 20th.
Yeah.
Like, we'll crush that. Yeah, downtown, just like meander around.
Maybe we're the next Christmas destination.
I think we definitely could be a Christmas destination.
Maybe that's what we need to start like promoting.
For sure.
Hello.
Because, even depending on, I know this year the lake got frozen, but like depending on the time of year, you can go skate on the lake. You can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of snow, like, I think the aesthetic is done really well. Oh, what's that? I think it's out in Strongsville when they do all those multiple neighborhoods, but they do those lights. I remember one time going on those like lights, the neighborhood that does the whole lights. The light bill must be crazy, but it's like this is wild that you guys did all this.
Yeah.
And it was like snowy and stuff. So I think we do Christmas well.
That's awesome. What do you think we need more of? What's going to take us up to that next level?
I guess like because, for lack of better words, like builders. Like, I think of our lakefront. Mm-hmm. It could be extraordinary. And I really like summer here, and I just said the Christmas. I think we have a unique thing in fall, like fall, and we have these metro parks and stuff like that. You can make that lakefront, but I don't know what you would need to. I'm not that smart to know what you would need to put there, but like the idea of having the lake across there. I think Edgewater's really nice, and they do the Edgewater Live, and I think that's come together well, and like the events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you can have it. I know. Did we get rid of the airport over in Burke?
It's still there, but
Okay.
there are discussions
Okay.
around
Yeah.
like what to do with that. And then there are plans for the lakefront. So
I think like making that could be destination like is that
Yeah.
entire like lakefront, because you're looking at that, and again, especially in the summer, I think that could be something awesome if they. I don't know that kind of stuff. Planning, was
Yeah.
it city planning, sitting planning, or something like that?
get on that, Bib.
Okay. Get on that.
Get
Yeah.
on that. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today,
Thank
giving us
you.
a little bit of motivation, a little education, giving us
Hopefully. Yeah.
all the things we need. Where can people connect with you?
On Instagram, FunFitCLE. We have a Facebook too, Functional Fitness Supply Strength and Conditioning. From there, you could have my brother and I's. You'd find our profiles. Is that what they
Yeah,
call it? Okay.
yeah.
Find our profiles. Type in whatever Porter, Justin Porter, Jamel Porter. It will come up, because I think those are like my name's maybe more popular. Jamel's not. So, but FunFitCLE, you get everything you want from us.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Landline. Make sure you come back next Monday for an all-new episode.